another episode of Scrappy Shorts where everything has potential. So I recently made a huge batch of some birthday cards, and I did these, and I'll show you on the low cam of what I did. But this fun fold card has this whole piece cut out of it. So I ended up with a lot of scraps of these corner pieces, and I got some inspiration off of Pinterest, and I thought, I know I have stuff in my scrap bucket to make something work on this, so let me show you what we're going to do. Let's just go right on down to the down cam and check this out. So here is all of those scraps from the corner of this card. So this was cut just like so that I could get this fun fold card. Okay? Been hanging on to these for quite a while, trying to figure out what to do because there's a lot of paper here and I know something could be done with them. Then I found a card on, I think it was YouTube or Pinterest, don't remember, but they had these corners where they would either tape off the middle, stamp over it and have these stamps, or emboss, or do something here with the middle open. Because I'm using scraps, I'm going with that concept, but I'm going to do something just slightly different to work with what I have for scraps. So this one is for scrap bucket and seeing what you have. So if you've got corner things that you've cut off, here's my idea. I'm going to lay one of these corners like so. I recently have done some videos where I know I have some smushing paper left over, so I'm going to use that for the other corner, lay some strips over it with some floral design to match, and do kind of a fallish kind of theme on these cards, alright? This will work for anything though. You could do bright, you could do happy birthday, you could do whatever you want. Here's what I'm going to do. Alright, I've already taken, I want to emboss one of these. So I've embossed one of these, and I used the embossing folder by Sizzix. This one here is the floral, it's like a floral leafy design 3D embossing folder. Then I took Distress Ink gathered twigs and carved pumpkin and very, very lightly went over those raised edges and got this. So it's a brown and orange kind of theme. Alright? That's going to go here. Alright, let me glue that on. This is my card front. I have 5.5 by 4.25. I always measure just a 1/16 inch smaller so that it doesn't overlap my card too much and I don't have any extra to cut off. These might be slightly bigger, so I know I might have to cut the little tips of the corners off, but that's okay. So I'm just going to lay that in here and cover this first corner. Okay? That's it. Now, I know I've got in my scrap bucket, let me show you some things that I found that would work. So I've got this embossed plaid design. That would work here, it doesn't fit. I've got some of these that would fit into like a little small piece of that corner, so I could cut a little corner off there. That would work. I have some bigger pieces. So I know I've had these from a recent card hop that I did, that I made, that I'm going to use. Alright? But I've got other pieces here, like these could work in the middle for a strip. I've got an old card here that I almost used that I didn't like how it turned out with Mod Podge and tissue paper, and I thought I could cut that and reuse this. Lots of options here. This one would work to throw that in a corner and then cut that off and use the other corner. Alright, I'm going with these two. And I'm going to use this one here. This one I'm going to use for my flowers, but I'm going to have to just add a little more ink smushing for the colors I want. This one here was a note card that a 3x3 note card that I was practicing some ink smushing on. Because it's green, I'm going to use this and die cut out some leaves, but I'm going to add some ink smushing to this to get more intense green that I want. So let me just do this piece first. I'll ink smush. Then I will dry and cut and stamp these, and then we'll go from there. Now this one, I can use this corner and I can use the opposite corner, and I still have enough. I've pre-measured this, so I took this corner and marked it off, and this corner and marked it off. So let me cut these. So we're just going to cut one of these. I'm going to cut this one because you can see it got over the line. That's okay. I'm going to cover it up with some strips anyway to cover up my center line where these match up. Okay? So here's one piece that's going to lay right in here. So let's just lay this piece in, and I may end up having to trim just a couple little pieces off. Let's see how this lines up. Just like so. And what I'm going to do, because I have to cut this little corner off, I'm going to keep it in that corner so it just kind of matches. Just like so. I have a little bit to trim off. We'll trim that, and we'll just trim this little piece right here. Now I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to do a little ink smushing. So what I want is I want a little more red into this. I'm going to use this Waffle Flower Poppy August Birth Flower stamp. Okay, I'm going to stamp all three so I can do a cluster, and then the greenery. So I'm going to do a little more red onto this and a little more green onto this, and then we'll come back. Okay, I have stamped my poppies and fussy cut them out. I decided last minute that I stamped them with Versamark, and I embossed them with this Distress Aged Mahogany, so I had a little more red into there. And then I cut out my green pieces, and I had enough of the orange that I cut out 2 more orange off of there for my leaves. Look at the scraps. Here's what's left, right? That's all that's left of that orange, so that's scrap. This is all that's left of my green. I could probably get another leaf or 2 out of that to cut, and then I'll scrap all that. But these leaves turned out so cool with this ink smushing. This is my new addiction, is this whole ink smushing and this mixed media. So, loving it. All I'm going to do to finish this off, I have a couple strips out of my other scrap bucket. So I'm going to dirty up this orange one just a little bit. It's just a little too bright. So all I'm going to do is just kind of lightly brush on a little distress onto there. That's it. That was a little gathered twig. Just a lightly brush to dirty it up a little. And then I'm going to take a green, a lighter green, and the orange. I'm going to put the orange the opposite side of that orange and cover up my center seam here. Alright, so we're just going to cover this little seam up like so. Got a little clog on there. Alright, go right down that center seam first. I'm going to lay down that one. Again, every single piece of this card is scraps. I just modified those scraps by ink smushing. I did a little splatter on here, as you can see at the end. I took a little ripe persimmon and that forest moss that I sprayed on this and did a little spray over the top of this. And then we're just going to go opposite side. So we're going to keep my dark green over here. Just like so. And then my little orange strip on this side. Dirty that up just a little bit. Cut the excess off of here. So if you think about your scraps and look at your scrap bucket, I just do a lot of searching on Pinterest and things for some inspiration of things that I like for layout, and then I just look in my scrap bucket and see if I've got it, or if I can make something similar out of that idea. And that's how I came up with these corner pieces to use on some of these bigger pieces of scrap. I'm going to go center. Alright, I'm going to lay these down. I'm going to lay my leaves down, and then I'll be back to show you final product. Alright, final product right here. Put my little poppies in the center, left some room for greeting here. I could put a greeting here. You could just leave this as a blank note card. All scraps. scraps from a little card hop, scraps from another card hop, scraps from birthday cards that I made, and I have a whole little bucket full of little strips that I've cut just to have them on hand for stuff like this. So this would be a great thank you or thankful for you, a fall little themed poppy card. So there we have it, my little fall themed card and all scraps. So thank you so much. I went a little further on a scrappy short this week just because I wanted to do a complete card with my scraps, just to kind of show you my thought process on the concept and then what I do. Rather than just throwing, hey, let's just cut these corners, throw them down, now you can make a card, I thought I'd show you kind of the whole concept of what I look for in my scraps. Look how pretty that is. Kind of a mixed media poppy kind of thing. So thank you so much for sticking around. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. If you have not done so already and you're new here, hit that subscribe button and become a subscriber. Would love to have you come back. If you're not new and don't know what you're waiting for, hit subscribe. Love to have you keep coming back and check out my videos. I do a Monday moment every Monday, these scrappy shorts every Saturday, and now I've got some lives and card videos going on during the week. So love to have you back. Anyway, till next time, I'll see you then.